Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to create this report that you can see on your screen using Power BI. This is a car insurance claims dashboard, a useful tool for underwriters and insurance analysts that will enable them to track claims and uncover their customer behavior in order to create more personalized insurance solutions. Here we have the total policies, claims, the claim rate, and percentage of high-risk drivers, and the average annual mileage. Down here, we have distribution by different demographics, gender, education, and age group. Here we have the vehicle type by claims and the year it was manufactured. Then also the driver's behavior and the risk of drivers within that particular year of experience. And the interesting thing for this dashboard is that it is interactive. You can filter for age group, for instance, and the whole dashboard filters to show that particular age group selected. You can filter by gender and as well as the income bracket. And also you can drill through to see more details regarding each one. Take for instance, you want to see people within the high school category. You can drill through, right click to drill through and click on claims details to show more information regarding those in that particular category. Then you can go back to the overview page. If you're new to this channel, this is time for you to like, subscribe, and click on the bell icon so that you can get notified when I post new videos. I post new videos every week. The data set I'm going to use for this report is going to be in the description below. Also, this Power BI file is going to be in this description below if you need that. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is to create our background on PowerPoint. These are the two wireframes that I used. You can see that they're the same, just the number of shapes within them that differs. So I'm going to create just this first one and you can replicate the second one. So in order to do that, I'll click on new slide, blank, then insert a shape, then change the color of this to this view, no outline. Then insert another shape. For this, I want the fill color to be this. Then I will insert another shape, but this time around it's going to be a rounded rectangle. Adjust the edge, adjust it to the side, and fill the remaining part of the canvas with it. Then change the color to this, fill, and no outline. So the one outside, I will change the fill color to white so that it will contract. Then I will add another shape, rounded rectangle again. In this case, this is going to serve for our header. Adjust it, then change the fill color to white, no outline, then change the shape effect, and I will duplicate this, then reduce the width, adjust the height, then copy this for my different cards. So I'm going to hold on to all of them, highlight all, then distribute horizontally, align top and bottom. Copy this, paste, adjust it, adjust the edge, change the width to 3.96, then copy, paste it again for the third one. Hold down shift key, then align them, distribute horizontally, align top and bottom. Group the three of them and drag them down so that there will be space between them and the card. So we have our first visual. You can now replicate this for the second one. Then the next thing to do is to group all, Control A, Control G, save as picture. You can save it as whatever file name that you choose, but ensure you select XVG to save it as SVG. So I'm not going to save this because I already have this file on my system. Then let's go into Power BI and import our wireframe. So now in Power BI, we are going to import the background that we've created on PowerPoint. Just click on the first page, click on Format Painter, click on Canvas Background, then browse, search for the picture that you've uploaded. So I saved this at car insurance. That's the first page. So remove the transparency, then set image fit to fit. So you have the first page. Then for the second, I'll just click on second page, browse. This is the second page. Set image fit to fit. Then transparency, turn that off. So we have the second page. So the next thing we're going to do is to import our data set. Like I said earlier, the data set for this report is going to be in the description below if you want to follow along. Also, the Power BI file that I used is going to be in the description as well. Then click on Get Data. So the data set is a CSV file. Click on CSV. So I have it as this. Open it up. Then click on Transform Data to clean it up. Now we're on the Power Query aspect of things, and this is what our data set looks like. We have the ID, age, gender, race, driving experience, education, income, year, postal code, annual mileage, and vehicle, and the rest of that. So as you can see here on the apply step part, Power BI has changed type for us. So the first thing I usually do here is to check the type that it changed to ensure that each column is well represented by the correct data type. So if I scroll down to this part, I can see that it gave the ID column a whole number data type, which is not what it's supposed to be. So I'll change this to text, replace current. Then for age is fine, gender is fine, race is fine, driving experience is fine, income is fine, vehicle is fine. I think I'm okay with the data type of the other columns. So if you cannot see this particular part, this is known as the column quality. If you can't see this, you can enable it by clicking on view, then turn on the column quality. So I usually turn it on. It gives me an idea of what each column um within each column. So when you scroll down, you can see that we have this green part here. This actually shows you if a column is empty or not. If you scroll to this particular one, I saw it earlier. annual mileage. You can see that the green part has another gray part. So it's showing you that 90% is valid while an empty percentage of the empty is 10%. To fill in this null value here. And since it's a numeric column, there are different approaches to that. Since it's 10%, we can fill this with the mean of this particular column. So in order to find the mean, I'll click on the column. So we have the column profile. So if you don't have this part showing up, you can enable the column profile as well. So down here on the column profile, you can see that the average of this column is um 11,856. That's the average of this column. So I'm going to fill in the null values with 11,856. So to do that, I will right click. I'll just click out on it. Turn off the profile. Then right click on it. Then replace values. In this case, null. Replace it with 11,856, which is the average. Click OK. So you can see from the column quality that we no longer have any empty value. So the next thing I'm going to do on this data set is that if you go down to this outcome, this is our claims outcome. It is labeled with the binary 1 or 0. So where 1 represents yes and 0 is no. So I'm going to add a conditional column to better explain this column. So in order to do that, I'll click on add column, conditional column. So the name of this column is going to be claims outcome. So if the outcome column equals 1, then substitute that as yes. Then if it is equal to 0, substitute that as no. Click OK. So we have this. And right now, Power BI is not sure of which data type. I'll change this to text data type. And finally, I will remove the columns that I don't need. It's always advisable to remove columns that you don't need to improve the performance of your report. So I'll click on Home, choose columns, choose columns. So you selected all. I'm going to deselect columns that I don't need. I don't need this poster column. I don't need outcome since I've already created a better column to that. So I don't need it as well. So I am going to click OK. Right now, we've removed other columns. We only have the columns that we need here. So finally, I'm going to click close and apply. So now we have our data set. It has been imported here. And this is the table view. When you look closely at the age column, we have different age brackets. But I want to describe this column more by grouping this again, making it a test column proper. So in order to do that, I'll add a calculated column, click on new column. So this, using this DAX formula, so what this DAX is doing is that wherever we have the age bracket 16 to 25, it should be labeled as young drivers. So this is more descriptive. Where you have 26 to 39 middle age drivers, 40 to 64 old adults, and 65 plus senior citizens. So I'll click commit. You can validate this to ensure that you actually mapped the right ones. Right now I have more of young drivers here. So when I select the age 16 to 25, I'll go to the age group to ensure that there is no other group. They're supposed to be young drivers. So you can see they are young drivers. So you can validate for the other brackets. So I'll clear all filters. And the next thing I'm going to do is to create bins for my annual mileage. I want to create a histogram. And in order to create a histogram to measure the distribution of my annual mileage, I need bins. So I'll right click on annual mileage, click on new group. So we have the maximum value as 22,000 and minimum value as 2,000. So you can see here that Power BI has automatically given a bin size. But for my own analysis, I want to use 20 data points. So since I want to use 20 data points, 22,000 minus 2,000 divided by 20 will give you 1,000. So my bin size is going to be 1,000. Click OK. So the next thing we are going to look at is how to categorize our drivers based on driving risk. So if you look at this data set, we have these columns, speeding violations, past accidents, and there is also DUIs. So we have DUIs. So since this is an insurance data, we want to calculate the risk of these drivers and to give them like a risk score to be able to categorize them based on high risk drivers, low risk drivers, and moderate risk drivers. This is very important and it will help the underwriters to be able to personalize insurance solution for these drivers within these categories. So the first thing I'm going to do is to assign a risk score to each of them. So to do that, I'll create a new column. So using this formula, what this is basically doing is that it's going to add the number of speeding violations, DUI, and past accident of each driver and give them a risk score. We have these whole numbers which are weighted values based on the severity of each particular category. So we have driving risk score as this. Then to give them a descriptive category, we are going to add another column. So we are going to be using this formula. So where the driving risk score is greater than or equal to 31, give it high risk. Then if it is greater than or equal to 16, moderate risk, and the rest low risk. You can as well validate this just like we did for the other. But right now, as you can see on my screen, we have low risk for 0, which is less than 16. So we have the next thing we're going to do is to create a table for our measures. So I'll click on enter data, measures. So the first measure we're going to be creating is total policies that we have. So from our data set here, we have the ID column, and the ID column is actually showing that there are 10,000 distinct values. So there is no duplicate on the ID column. So to calculate the total number of policies that we have, I'll right click, new measures, total policies is equal to count rows. We are going to count rows of our table. Then the next one is going to be total number of claims. And for total claims, we are going to count the number of rows where claims outcome is equal to yes, the conditional column that we created on the Power Query. So where claims outcome is equal to yes, that will give us total number of claims. So I'll right click on new measure. So total claims is equal to calculate total policies where claims outcome equals to yes. So the next one is going to be the claims rate, which is um, the percentage of claims, which is the total claims divided by the total policies. So I'll right click new measure, claims rate is equal to divide total policies, um, claims, total claims over total policies, total policies. Then 0 when you have divide by 0, remove the last bracket. So the next measure is average annual mileage, so which is straightforward. average annual mileage, which is equal to the average of the annual mileage column, not the bins. Then next one is going to be the percentage of high risk drivers. So right click, new measure. We use this measure. What this measure is basically doing is that within the measure first, we have total policies where driving risk category is equal to high risk. Get that first, then divide these high risk drivers by the total number of policies that we have total. Then add zero there where you have a divide by zero case. So commit. Then these are the measures that we are going to be using for this report. So we start creating our visualization. So the first visual we're going to be creating is our card visual. So I'll select the new card. This is the new card. Adjust it, place it here. Go to the format pane. Ensure that the width is at 233. Height, I want to use height as 97 so that I can fit the placeholder. Then I'll go to this part and select total policies. So it's going to be representing total policies. So click on size and style, scroll down, turn off the background, scroll down even further to where you have cards. Turn off the border and the background. Then go over to where you have call out values. Reduce the size of the call out value to 30. Then the call out label, click on that. This is the call out label. Reduce the size, this is 12. Change the font to thin. And for the call out value, I want everything to show. So click on values, display unit none. Then click on total policies and add comma so that that will be legible. And copy this, paste, replace this with total claims. And for the call out value, go down to where you have series, select total claims, then click on display unit none and click on total claims and add comma as well. Then paste another. So this is going to serve for claims rate. Select claims rate. Change this to percentage. No decimal place. Then paste another. This is going to serve for high risk drivers. Change this to percentage as well. Then finally, we're going to add for average annual mileage. So I'll select average annual mileage. Click on it here, all, and change it to none, the display unit. Then click on it and okay, you can add the number of decimal places here as well. So no decimal places. So I'll quickly edit the label for all, change the font of all of them. So the next thing is to add icons to this. So I'll click on the first one, scroll down to images. I've downloaded some icons from icons8.com. The link to the website will be in the description below. So I'll click on images and turn on image, browse. I'll download. So I have, this is the icon I'm using for records. Edit the size to 50. So we have this for records. For claims, I will do the same, turn on the image. This is the icon I'm going to use, this one. And right of text, change the size to 50. The claims rate, turn that on as well. Browse. I'm going to use percentage icon for that. The size 50 as well. High risk driver, turn that on. And the risk, I'm going to be using the symbol for it. Reduce the size to 50 so that it will match the order. And finally, we have the annual mileage. I'm going to be using an odometer for that. Size 50 as well. So we have our different cards. Next thing we're going to do is to create a donut chart for distribution of gender. So I'll click on donuts. So we want to check the claims by gender, the total number of claims. Adjust this, select total claims and gender. So I'm going to format this. The slices, I want the male part to be this color and the female part to be this shade of yellow. Then the inner radius, I want to increase that to 70. Scroll down. The data labels, I only want to see percentage of total. Next one is claims by education. I'll click on a bar chart, adjust it here. For this particular one, I'm going to be using a baseline measure. So I'll click uh, on our measures table and create a new measure, baseline. So baseline basically equal to 0. Click commit. So I will select education as well as our total claims. So in this case, I'm going to turn off the x-axis and turn off the y-axis title. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is to change the color of the bar to white to fit our background. I don't want to use the bar. I want to use the different shape. Then scroll down to where you have error bars, turn it on. So enable. I'll drag in total claims to that part, to the upper bound. And on the lower bound, I'm going to drag in the baseline that I just created, which is basically 0. So we have this. I'll scroll down to where I have bar, increase the size of the width of the bar to 10, and the color of the bar, I'm going to be using our color. Then the marker, I'm going to change this to a round marker, increase the size to 7, then remove the border color, change that to fit our color. So we have this. Then copy this, paste it. We are going to be using it also to represent age bracket. So I'm going to, instead of education, I'm going to select age group. So we have this for age group as well. So I'm just going to click on the two and turn on their data labels. So we have the data labels turned on, and the position of the label, we want the both of them to be outside in. The next thing we are going to do is to check the distribution of total claims by vehicle type. So we're going to be using a bar chart in this case as well. Adjust it. Then total claims by vehicle type. Select vehicle type. But in this case, we don't want it to be on the axis. We want it to be as a label. I mean, as a legend. So I'll drag the vehicle type to the legend aspect of things. And my legend, I want my legend to be bottom center. Let me adjust this. Okay. So for my legend, I don't want the title to show. For the bars, scroll down. So where you have sedan color, I want that to show as this blue theme, and the other one sports car to show this color to fit our theme. Okay. Then I'm going to copy this for this next visual that we're going to be creating, which is for vehicle year of manufacturing. So instead of vehicle type, I will just select vehicle year, drag this to legend as well, collapse this, then go to the bar, select the color of bar after 2015. I want this to be yellow, and before 2015 to be blue theme. So the final one is going to be for the driver's behavior. So I'm going to select total claims by driving experience. Then also we are going to add the risk category to that as well. The risk category is going to be our legend. So turn off the background of the chart. Then scroll down, turn up the X axis title and the Y axis title as well. Then where you have the legend, take the legend to bottom center, turn off the title of the legend, then scroll down to where you have the bars. So I want the major one, which is low risk, to have our blue theme, and the other one, which is the moderate risk, to have our yellow theme. Then the title, I want to change this title to read driving behavior by claims, total claims by driving behavior. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is to reduce the font size of these titles to 12. Then for these two, I'm going to hold down the control key and turn on their data label. So finally, we are going to be creating a histogram of the annual mileage distribution. So I'll select a clustered column chart, extend it to this part. So since we've created our bin, when you look at our data set, we have this, the annual mileage bin. So I'm going to add that to my x-axis, then the total claims to my y-axis. So we have this distribution. So I'll start cleaning this up. Click on size and style, turn off the background, then scroll down to where you have the x-axis. um Change the value of the x-axis to white so that it will be visible. Then change the title as well to white. So scroll down to y-axis, change the color of the title to white. Scroll down to y-axis, change the values to white so that they'll be visible. Turn off the title, scroll up, okay, scroll to where you have columns, then change the color to this yellow so that it will fit our theme. Then go to where you have grid lines, turn off the two grid lines, the horizontal and vertical. Then the title, click on title, annual mileage distribution. So change the color to white so that it will be legible. Okay, so we have our visuals. The next thing is to add the text box for the title of this particular page. So this is going to be car insurance claims dashboard. Increase the font size to 24, make it bold, extend it to cover here, change the color to this theme, increase the size to remove this, turn off the background. The next is to add slicers. So I will adjust the size of the slicer. I want the width of 129 is fine. Add our data. In this case, I want to show age group there. Change the style of the slicer to drop down instead of vertical list. Expand this. Then the header, I want to reduce the font size, reduce that to 10. Let's see what we have. So we have this. Turn off the background. Okay, so copy this, paste, and paste again. So the next one is going to be gender. Remove, go to our data, remove age group and replace that with gender. Then the last one is income. Remove age group and replace that with income. So we have our first page. Rename the page as overview. So we'll go ahead and copy this header into the second page so that we can easily use the format. Don't sync. So we have this here. and we are going to rename the title to claims detail. Adjust it, take it to the middle. So this page is going to serve as our drill through page. So we add a table visual, extend it, add the ID column, age group, race, gender, education, income, driving risk category, claims outcome, vehicle type, vehicle year. So I'll adjust this. So change the format, click on format pane, turn off the background, scroll down to where you have style preset, select minimal, go down to where you have grid, um, the border part. I want the color of the border there to be this blue. Then go to where you have column header. I want the header to be bold. Then next thing is to apply conditional formatting for the driving risk category. So I'll click on cell element, scroll down to series, select driving risk category column, turn on icons for that. So if risk is equal to low risk, set that to be green. If it is moderate, set that to be yellow cycle. And if it is high risk, set that to be red cycle. Then click OK. So we have this. You can scroll down to validate to ensure that. So right now you can see that my high risk is not showing. So I'll go to where I have my data to ensure that I copy the exact format of the high risk. So I'll select risk category. This is the high risk. I will copy the exact format. Go into the icon to fix that. Paste it. Then click OK. So you can see that it's showing. So sometimes when you don't copy the exact format, probably there are spaces in between. You don't get to have a good output. So this is our drill through page. So in order to enable that further, I'll click on the page, select format pane, page information, change the page type to drill through, and add data to this form. So data that I want to drill through from to this particular part. So first one is going to be age group, driving risk score, annual mileage pin, driving risk category. Oh, okay. I've added that already. Then education, gender, vehicle type, and vehicle year. So from here now, you can see that Power BI has already added a back button for us. So drag it down to this part, edit it, click on size and style, scroll down to where you have button style, click on the text, turn it on, write a descriptive information. For my case, go back to overview. So you can expand that so that it will show. Then change the font color to fit our theme. Then scroll down to where you have icon, turn it on. The line color to fit our theme as well. So we have this. Then when I go to the overview page, let me quickly rename this as claims detail. So when I go back to the overview page, I can right click. You can see drill through to claims details. So this filters for just mail because I drilled through from mail. So if you look at the filter pane here, you can see what is actually being drilled through here. You can see that I selected is mail. So if you want to see other details when you come to this page, you can easily remove that filter by clearing filter here. You can have everybody. Then go back to the home page. So that is all for this report. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see more of Power BI projects, you can see a link on your screen. You can click that to watch more projects that I have created. Thank you. Bye.